10 of the most peculiar wedding customs in history. Welcome to the channel, where we delve into the profound depths of human history and culture. Today, we will examine one of humanity's most ancient and universal rites of passage, the wedding. While contemporary weddings are predominantly associated with love and romance, historical matrimonial practices were often intricate social events, imbued with archaic customs that may now appear startling, shocking, or even distressing. We will explore 10 of the most peculiar wedding customs from diverse global regions and historical periods, ranging from bride abductions to rituals intended to secure fertility or avert malevolent forces. Prepare for a historical journey that unveils the more challenging and unexpected facets of marital bonds throughout the ages. 1. Bride kidnapping, when tradition preceded consent. One of the most enduring customs, still observed in some regions, was bride kidnapping. While this act is now considered drastic and illegal, its historical context often differed. In certain societies, such as ancient Rome or among early Slavic tribes, abduction could function as a symbolic act, demonstrating male strength and resolve. In other instances, it served as a pragmatic solution for men unable to afford a dowry, or as a method for acquiring a bride from an outside community. Historical records indicate that although the act was frequently dramatic, it did not invariably signify the bride's lack of consent to the impending marriage. Nevertheless, its origins are rooted in eras when women's societal status was significantly subordinate, and their individual will was not paramount. 2. Arranged marriages, marriage as a contract, not affection. For the majority of individuals in the Middle Ages and early modern period, love was not the primary impetus for marriage. Marriages were frequently arranged by parents or family members with the objective of strengthening economic alliances, acquiring land or property, or solidifying social standing. Children, sometimes at a tender age, were betrothed to partners they often did not know. Emotional attachment was anticipated to develop only after the solemnization of the marriage. While these unions lacked the romantic ideal of modern times, they were considered foundational for the stability of both the family unit and broader society. 3. The rite of first night, jus primi noctis, historical debate and interpretation. One of the most controversial and extensively debated wedding traditions is the so-called rite of the first night, or jus primi noctis. This custom purportedly granted a feudal lord the right to spend the wedding night with his serf's bride. Historians continue to dispute whether this practice was widespread, or if it was predominantly a myth, or perhaps a symbolic payment that could be monetized. Regardless, the concept of such a privilege underscores the stark social inequalities and the subordinate position of peasant women within the societal hierarchy of the era. Even if rare in actual practice, its presence in contemporary legends and oral traditions indicates deep-seated anxieties regarding power and its potential for abuse. 4. Spitting on the bride, a ritual of protection and prosperity. In specific areas of Scotland, particularly the Orkney Islands, and in certain African cultures, the custom of spitting on the bride was observed. This act, now perceived as unsanitary, held profound symbolic significance in the past. It was believed that spitting would repel evil spirits and bestow good fortune and fertility upon the newlyweds. Spitting was often regarded as a means to transfer a portion of one's vitality or blessing to another. This ritual, while difficult for contemporary understanding, was for historical communities a sincere expression of well-wishes and a form of protection against unseen forces. 5. Post-mortem marriages, a bond beyond mortality. Among the less commonly known but compelling customs are post-mortem marriages, which occurred in various cultures, including France until the 20th century. In certain circumstances, a surviving individual was permitted to marry their deceased fiancé or fiancée. Reasons for such unions could include the legitimization of children born prior to the partner's death, or the securing of inheritance rights. While seemingly morbid, these marriages were founded on pragmatic principles and reflected society's imperative to maintain family lineages and property, even in the event of a partner's demise. 6. The fat bride, a symbol of prosperity and fertility. While a slender physique is the contemporary ideal, in numerous historical cultures, and still in parts of Mauritania today, a plump bride symbolized beauty, wealth, and fertility. Girls were sometimes subjected to specialized fattening regimes from an early age to achieve the desired weight. It was believed that corpulence signaled prosperity and the capacity to bear healthy offspring. This custom reflects divergent aesthetic ideals and societal priorities, where abundance and the ability to thrive were held in the highest esteem. 7. Polygamous marriages, expansive family structures. In many cultures globally, particularly in Africa and the Middle East, polygamous marriages have been and continue to be practiced. Most frequently, this involves polygyny, where one man has multiple wives. These unions were often linked to tribal structures, economic status, and the assurance of a large number of offspring, which was crucial for labor and lineage survival in agrarian societies. Women in such unions held specific roles and responsibilities, although their status varied depending on the particular cultural context. 8. Witnessing the first night, verification of marital consummation. In certain parts of medieval and early modern Europe, a custom existed whereby relatives or witnesses were present at the newlyweds' bedchamber during the wedding night, or at least waited outside the door. The objective was not voyeurism, but to verify the consummation of the marriage. Consummation, defined as the sexual act, was deemed indispensable by the Church and law for the validity of the marital bond and the legitimacy of future heirs. While this practice may seem intrusive and peculiar today, for the society of that era, it was a practical method to ensure order and legal certainty. 9. Bundling, courting in bed without a kiss. Get ready for a shocking glimpse into the bedrooms of early modern Europe. In some cold, rural areas, where heating with wood was expensive, a custom called bundling emerged. Imagine this: a young couple, in the context of courtship or engagement, would share one bed, often under the watchful eye of a chaperone. It sounds like an absolute scandal, doesn't it? But the goal, paradoxically, was to preserve chastity. The couple often remained fully clothed. Sometimes a board or wedge was placed between them to prevent physical intimacy. It was a practical solution for long courtships in freezing homes, but by today's standards, it's one of the most peculiar and controversial wedding customs ever. 10. Groom's endurance tests, proving strength and commitment. In various cultures globally, such as in India or parts of Southeast Asia and Europe, tests of the groom's endurance were integral components of wedding rituals. These trials could manifest in diverse forms, from filling shoes with unpleasant substances, to physical demonstrations of strength, to symbolic tasks. The objective was to assess the groom's patience, resolve, and masculinity, thereby proving his worthiness of the bride and his capability to provide for her. For the society of that time, these tests served as significant symbols and rites of passage. As we have explored, wedding customs throughout history were remarkably diverse and frequently reflected deeper societal, economic, and religious convictions. From bride abductions to arranged marriages and rituals designed to ensure fertility or protection, each custom possessed distinct significance within its temporal and cultural context. These traditions serve as a potent reminder of the complex and evolving nature of human behavior, and how our understanding of love, marriage, and family continuously transforms. Investigating these seemingly peculiar customs allows us to gain a more profound comprehension of the past and to appreciate the rich tapestry of human diversity. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of fascinating historical aspects. Please subscribe and enable notifications to ensure you do not miss our future journeys into the past.